Alberta has been struggling, though we are the only producer, I believe, in Canada with the oil from our sands, and still we face a lot of heavy prices.
If you live in Canada, the best place to live in Canada will be Alberta. Not only do we have the highest wages, weekly wages per capita in the entire country, not only do we have one of the most affordable lifestyles in the country. If you sell your house in Toronto or Vancouver, you can buy 3 or 4 houses in Alberta for sure. Actually created a situation where things are more affordable, and inflation is less in Alberta than anywhere else in the country, in some cases by double. And that's because this government has taken a number of key measures, because we understand how important affordability is. Google search for real estate in Canada right now is Edmonton #1, Calgary #2. I hope Fort McMurray is #3, but I'm not quite sure.
Ministries also, because people are coming in, but there is lack of infrastructure, there is lack of so many things which we need to develop.
You take in Calgary, I had a chance to talk to the mayor and a round of business leaders and experts in the community as a province to lead the country and to lead the world on what we do. And we can only do that if we have the money to put the greatest programs in place as possible. I mean, let's face it, healthcare, as you know, is a big deal to me. I lost my son to the healthcare system here.
My question is, and this is in everybody's mind, that being such an amazing oil, coming out of our province, why other provinces are not buying from us?
They should be buying Alberta oil. They should be buying Saskatchewan oil. They should be buying oil from those countries that believe in human rights, believe in the dignity of all people and equal rights for all. Well, I've lived in the oil sands area all of my life, since there was about 1,900 people here and they were digging it out by hand with a shovel. I raise my children here. I use outdoors a lot. I'm actually a registered trapper, even though I haven't done that. That are going to net zero a lot of things that are going on in Alberta. And are we the cleanest jurisdiction in the world right now for what we produce? No question at all. By far, we are. Are we going to be cleaner? Yes. We are going to lead the world in technology. And the highest quality income and remuneration and respect in Canada. Why wouldn't you come to Alberta and live here? Kind of surprises me that people don't.
नमस्कार, सलाम, याली मदद, सत श्री अकाल, हेलो टू कनाडा। आप सबका स्वागत है हमारे प्रोग्राम आपकी आवाज़ में। आप देख रहे हैं पंजाबी नेशनल टेलीविजन। मैं आपका होस्ट, आपका दोस्त अमृत बराड़, आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं और आशा करता हूं आप सब मस्त होंगे, व्यस्त होंगे और स्वस्थ होंगे। आज के इस प्रोग्राम में हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं हमारे ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर फॉर एनर्जी एंड मिनरल एंड MLA फ्रॉम फोर्ट McMurray-Mr.Brian जी। आइए मिलकर स्वागत करते हैं उनका और जानते हैं आज वो हमारे लिए क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन लेके आए हैं। ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर, वेलकम टू द शो प्लीज।
Namaste, Siksalikal. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you, sir, for your time today. And as we were discussing before the recording started, the first thing I would like you to tell us what exactly the mandate letter which you received from our Honorable Premier, what does it states and how you are working on that, sir?
Well, it states quite a bit. I could take your entire show to talk about that. The mandate letter is detailed and it's sophisticated, but let's just say my job is to make sure that our energy industry is successful and that the mineral industry in Alberta takes off and is also just as successful. That the past 80 years and the geography and the substrata of Alberta will lead to the success, not just of the last 80 years, but the next number of centuries. Alberta's got so many natural advantages.
Amazing, sir. Sir, in your mandate and in your portfolio, we have featured services like coal, electronic transfer system, minerals, natural gas, oil sands, petroleum and natural gas. So these are few things which comes under your ministry. Now, Alberta has been struggling, though we are the only producer, I believe, in Canada with the oil from our sands. And still we face a lot of heavy prices, increased prices in oil, plus the electricity. What we are doing regarding that, because it's been a while now, things are not, though we are cheapest right now in Canada, because of the government policies and the policies what other provinces have. But still, there are a lot of questions about electricity and natural gas prices going up. Any idea and any vision on that, sir, please?
Absolutely. I can tell you one thing for sure. If you live in Canada, the best place to live in Canada will be Alberta. Not only do we have the highest wages, weekly wages per capita in the entire country, not only do we have one of the most affordable lifestyles in the country. If you sell your house in Toronto or Vancouver, you can buy 3 or 4 houses in Alberta for sure. But we also have an amazing amount of rich natural resources here that we allow people to take out of the ground and upgrade and create wealth. And that includes oil and gas, which is great, and not just oil sands, but conventional oil. There's a tremendous amount of wealth in this province, and wealth going forward in this province as well, using our minerals and natural resources. Minerals, for instance, we have a huge category. People should go onto our webpage here in Alberta that talks all about our minerals and our geo opportunities here in Alberta. In particular, we have an inventory of some 72,000 different core samples, I think 1.5 million water samples, and over 100,000 earth samples from different places all around Alberta. Now, we put that inventory into the computer and into the web space for free for people from other countries and multinational investors to come here to Alberta and to create wealth, to create employment, and to take those special minerals and those natural resources and to generate wealth with them. And that's why Alberta is the world leader on minerals and mining.
Absolutely, sir. So, moving forward, the winters are coming. I hope the electricity prices and the natural gas prices will not be going up, and the people will be able to afford it in this hard time, sir?
Well, they're going to be cheaper in Alberta than they are in the rest of the country. I can pretty much guarantee that. Right now, they are significantly cheaper in Alberta, and that's because this government has, eliminated on a temporary basis gas tax. While this government has actually created a situation where things are more affordable and inflation is less in Alberta than anywhere else in the country. In some cases, by double. And that's because this government has taken a number of key measures because we understand how important affordability is. That's why people are coming to Alberta by the hundreds of thousands. I think we've had, just in the last couple of years, 200,000 people come to Alberta. We're over 4.6 million people. And the number one and number two Google search for real estate in Canada right now is Edmonton number one, Calgary number two. I hope Fort McMurray is number three, but I'm not quite sure. But I'm a hometown boy. Go Fort McMurray. But I know one thing that the better Fort McMurray does, the better the entire province does, and the better. And the same goes for Calgary and, frankly, any place in Alberta. And that's why I believe in building communities and making sure that we have people from all over the world coming here to Alberta. In fact, 70% of the people that came to Alberta in the last 6 months of last year, that was about 70,000 people, they came from outside of Canada. They chose Alberta as their priority place of destination because they see there is tremendous opportunity here for people, and there is so many opportunities no matter where you live.
I totally agree with you, sir. And I'm talking to other, ministries also, because people are coming in, but there is lack of infrastructure. There is lack of so many things which we need to develop as soon as possible, because otherwise we will end up like Ontario or BC, where the influx of people is so much, but the infrastructure has failed. There is a lot of traffic, there is a lot of chaos, people are bumping with each other, and things are not looking good. So the crime rate is up because people don't find jobs. So I understand that is not under your mandate, but the thing is...
Oh, I'm happy to talk about it. I'll tell you, that's why we've got 50 new officers in Edmonton, 50 new officers in Calgary. We're negotiating deals right now, but we've said, let's get them in there, in place, so we can deal with those more complex cases and get them out of the downtown. You wouldn't believe how many people are repeat offenders and how many... you take in Calgary, I had a chance to talk to the mayor and a round of business leaders and experts in the community. And they told me that there was probably about 250 out of the 1,600 homeless people that are complex in Calgary. And if you got rid of the complex cases, you'd get rid of 80% of your problems. I think there are opportunities here for us. as a province to lead the country and to lead the world on what we do, and we can only do that if we have the money to put the greatest programs in place as possible. I mean, let's face it, healthcare, as you know, is a big deal to me. I lost my son to the healthcare system here, and I know the better our government is on energy, the better our government is on jobs and the economy, and the better our government is on education. In turn, the better our government will be in healthcare. And I want to see healthcare fixed, and that's just almost 50% of the budget now, believe it or not. But we need to spend more, and we have to find innovative ways to fix the system. And in another 10 months, we'll be caught up on surgeries. Right now, our emergency wait times have gone down, and they're going in the right direction. They've been trending in that way for months now. And all of the other major numbers that we watch, as far as EMS times, as far as wait times for operations, those are all trending in the right direction. So can we fix healthcare overnight? No. It's the biggest employer in Canada, I believe. It might be one of the biggest employers in North America. It's huge. And to move something so big that has so many implications if you get wrong means we have to be careful. We have to do it right. And, we have an amazing energy industry, an amazing educational industry, one of the best education systems in the world, ranked year over year. If you look over the last 50 years, I bet you 30 of those years we're in the top 5. Right now we're not. And we need to redirect that program. It's not always how much money you spend on some of these programs, whether it be education or healthcare or even energy. It's how efficient you are with the money and how much you can get those people to participate with you, whether they be the teachers. You need to get them with you. You need to move in the same direction as the government, and the government needs to move in the same direction as you. And we all know what that direction is. Get the best outcome for kids and make sure parents are in charge of their children's education. Those are the things that governments can get right. And when they do get them right, they mean so much to the people.
That's the main point, sir, how we implement the good things as soon as possible and try to put this province back on track. Now, your tweet, what we were discussing, that Alberta has the potential to provide affordable, reliable, and environmentally friendly energy products to the world, right? And we must ban the import of Russian oil to our East Coast refineries for as long as, as soon as possible. My question is, and this is in everybody's mind, that being such an amazing oil, coming out of our province, why other provinces are not buying from us? What holds it? Why there is so much internal politics where we can supply this to the other provinces right here in Canada, but still we are importing? What is your views? What are your views on that, sir?
Well, if I was importing oil from countries like Venezuela or other countries that frankly have a startling and disgusting record on women's rights or human rights, I would be ashamed of that, and I would tell my government to stop it. But the government of Quebec doesn't stop it, and many of the other provinces in Canada don't stop that purchase of that conflict oil and human rights embarrassing oil. They should be buying Alberta oil. They should be buying Saskatchewan oil. They should be buying oil from those countries that believe in human rights, believe in the dignity of all people and equal rights for all.
Why
they should be ashamed of themselves. But they won't allow us to put pipelines. People play politics for power and money, and I don't do that, and I'm not going to let that happen under my watch. We need to make sure that we use politics for people.
Oh, absolutely, sir. Because it's very, very heartbreaking that people within our own country are not buying the oil right within which we are producing. Like, why we have to even import? We are self-sufficient. Now, here the question which it arises: are oil sands where our oil comes from, are they environment friendly? Like, a lot of people have this thing in their mind: they are not environment friendly, it should not be there. That's why they are not taking it from Alberta. How far it is true, sir?
Well, I've lived in the oil sands area all of my life. Since there was about 1,900 people here and they were digging it out by hand with a shovel. I raise my children here. I use outdoors a lot. I'm actually a registered trapper, even though I haven't done that in a long time. But I love the outdoors. I was out in my boat yesterday on the Clearwater River, which is a great little river system here. And, you can drive directly north and you can see the oil sands plants on both sides of the river. I've done that many times, gone up to Lake Athabasca. this is the cleanest, most environmentally stringent ruled jurisdiction in the world. We do it better than anybody.
So why it is?
It's politics. Again, it's politics. And people around the world have investments in other things, in other oil companies and other jurisdictions and other reasons. I mean, there's lots of reasons to keep the third largest supply of oil in the world strategically located in one of the lowest dense populations on the planet, right next to, one of the most the largest superpower in the world right now. And, there's lots of reasons for our oil to be constrained through supply. There's definitely demand. And we're going to see, in my opinion, I predict that oil is going to hit $100 a barrel here in the next 12 months. I predict that's going to happen. If things, everything indicates that that's going to happen. And if that happens, we're going to see people, again, looking at Alberta a little bit more seriously. They have since the Russian war. They have for a number of reasons politically since Joe Biden got elected in the United States. So they're looking more seriously at Alberta, and what could be a better jurisdiction to come to have your employees from? The lowest tax jurisdiction with most freedoms in the entire planet, in my opinion. It's right here. And do we encourage investment? Well, we've got an APIP program right now that if you come in and invest in something along the lines of clean hydrogen or net zero petrochemical, we will contribute as a government a significant amount of the capital for that, as well as some opportunities in the future with labor training and supplies and special programs to help you get the people you need trained and done when you need them. And, these are just some of the advantages, but we know, for instance, that there are some major investments coming to Alberta right now that are going to decarbonize our industrial heartland, for instance, that are going to net zero a lot of things that are going on in Alberta. And are we the cleanest jurisdiction in the world right now for what we produce? No question at all. By far, we are. Are we going to be cleaner? Yes. We are going to lead the world in technology. We are going to lead the world by example. And then we're going to export, hopefully under Article 6, under the Paris Accord, this technology to other places in the world, which would make sense to decarbonize their footprint in a more significant fashion than we can ever do here in Alberta with the so significant limited amounts of emissions we have here. It's just like this in the main scheme, but our technology is this. So if we can take this and put it where it really matters in China and India, we can make it that. That's what I want to do.
No, I totally agree with you, and I second your voice, sir. That coming time, if things goes right, we will be leading our in everything all over Canada and all over the world. And thank you so much for clarifying few things with us. What is your message to our listeners and people want to hear something that which will make their winters and their coming time a little bit on an easy side. So please, what is your message to Calgarians, please?
I would say to you that, world commodities, it's impossible to predict pricing and it's impossible to control them just because of the nature of the demand cycle. But I can promise you this, that if people come to the place that should have been called opportunity, not Alberta, the province of opportunity is right here. And if people want a better life, if they want a more affordable lifestyle, better quality lifestyle, a place that respects human rights, that truly, by example, has some of the best and most incredible cultural events in the entire country, if not North America or the world. We are embracing people from all over with so many different trades that are in high demand. We need right now over 90,000 people to fill jobs. 90,000 people. What does that mean? It means that our already high weekly earnings are going up. And what's happening as a result of some of our investments? $2.4 billion in affordability measures. Well, it's a better place, more affordable place to live. So if you can get the most affordable lifestyle in Canada and the highest quality income and remuneration and respect in Canada, why wouldn't you come to Alberta and live here? Kind of surprises me that people don't. So I'd say come on out to Alberta. We're calling and we want people to come out here. We need them.
That's amazing, sir. Thank you so much for your time today, sir. And I look forward to talk to you again. There are a lot of other questions, but I know there are time constraints. But I will definitely take time from your office and we'll fix up a time to talk more, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Sir. तो ये थे हमारे ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर मिस्टर ब्रायन जी, जो कि मिनिस्टर है एनर्जी एंड मिनरल्स के। उन्होंने बहुत स्पष्ट बात की कि आने वाले टाइम में एल्बर्टा विल बी a leader in a lot of things, and especially where it comes to oil and energy. यहाँ का ऑयल क्लीन है, यहाँ की ऑयल की जो प्रोडक्शन है वो बहुत क्लीन वे से हो रही है, लेकिन सिर्फ पॉलिटिक्स है जो काफ़ी जगह से हमारे इस मिशन को आगे लाने से रोकती है। क्योंकि अगेन हमारा ईस्ट कोस्ट है और प्रोविंसेस हैं जो ऑयल है वो इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, जबकि हमारे अपने कनाडा के अंदर ऑयल मौजूद है। तो क्यों ये सब हो रहा है, ये एक अगेन ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ने कहा पॉलिटिक्स है। सो ही इज़ वर्किंग ऑन दैट, एंड आई होप कि आने वाले टाइम में हम लोगों की जो अफोर्डेबिलिटी है, एक ये आश्वासन मैं चाहता था उनसे, तो उन्होंने यही कहा कि हम लोग की जो बिल्स हैं वो कनाडा के बाकी प्रोविंसेस से हमेशा कम रहेंगे जब तक वो हैं। तो आई होप दीज वर्ड्स आर मेट। अगेन यहाँ पर जो अल्बर्टा में हमारे पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है और कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो कि डेफिनेटली काम मांगती हैं, वहाँ पे ज़रूर उसके ऊपर काम होना चाहिए, एंड दैट्स व्हाट ही सेज कि उस पर काम हो रहा है, एंड आई होप कि जल्द ही रिजल्ट्स आएंगे। आपसे विदा लेता हूँ। आई होप आपको आज की इन्फॉर्मेशन पसंद आई होगी। आप देख रहे हैं पंजाबी नेशनल टेलीविज़न। आप मस्त रहें, स्वस्थ रहें और व्यस्त रहें। इस प्रोग्राम के थ्रू वी ट्राई टू ब्रिंग यू मोर एंड मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम ऑल डिफरेंट एरियाज। देखते रहिए हमारा अपना पंजाबी नेशनल टेलीविज़न। उम्मीद आपकी, कोशिश हमारी। थैंक यू, टेक केयर।